never told this story from start to finish to anyone. Not really, because every time I get close to the end, I watch the look on people's faces shift, and I know exactly what they're thinking. He imagined it, but I didn't. And I've got the proof sitting in my iCloud to this day. This isn't a ghost story. There was nothing supernatural about what happened to me in that apartment. What was in my hallway that night was a person, and honestly, that's so much worse. Let me take you back. Why I needed out. Ever since high school, getting my own place was basically the only goal I had. My home life was rough. My dad and I never got along, and my mom wasn't much better. Weekends were a mess. My dad would be drunk. There was always tension, always something. And once girls started becoming a factor in my life, it got even worse. There was no way I was ever bringing anyone back to that house. So the second I had a reason to leave, I took it. 19 years old, just started commuter college, and I was on Zillow, Facebook Marketplace, and Craigslist every single day looking for a place I could actually afford. The apartment. When I finally found it, I went to see it the same day, and the layout. Let me paint this picture for you because it matters later. You walk in the front door, and you're immediately in the living room/dining area, one open space. Then there's a kitchen right next to it, separated by a wall. And to get to the bedroom, you walk down a hallway. That hallway had 2 closets. One I used as a pantry, one for storage. Then the bathroom, and all the way at the end of the hall was the bedroom. The bedroom was huge, queen bed, 2 closets, a couple dressers, a TV. It all fit easily. And the rent? Budget friendly. I signed basically on the spot. Moved in the next month. Life was good, normal. For a while, Sammy. A few months in, I went out with a group of friends, ran into some girls we knew, and ended up bringing one of them back to my place. I'll call her Sammy. We'd gone to the same school, knew each other, but had never hung out like that before. We grabbed drinks at my place, threw on a movie in the living room. That was it. She wanted to keep it chill, first time hanging out, and I was completely fine with that. We ended up moving to the bedroom to finish the movie, and somewhere in the middle of it, we both just passed out. The first time I woke up in the middle of the night to footsteps in the hallway. It was dark. I rolled over and realized I was alone in the bed. I got up and looked down the hallway. I could see Sammy in the living room quietly grabbing her stuff off the couch. She was doing the classic move, slipping out early to skip the awkward morning. Totally understood that. I didn't say anything. Went back to bed. I called out, "Sammy," just to confirm she was gone. Nothing. Okay, she was out. I got comfortable and fell back asleep pretty quickly. The second time. About an hour later, something loud woke me up. I sat straight up in bed, heart going. I called out, "Sammy," again. Silence. I was honestly scared to get up and check. So I grabbed my phone and texted her, "Are you still in my place?" I knew that was weird. I didn't care. I was scared. That's when I looked at my bedroom door. It was still open. I'd been too lazy to close it after Sammy left. And even though it was dark and I was still a little drunk, I could have sworn I saw something wrapped around the door frame. My breathing spiked. I opened the flashlight on my phone, pointed it at the door, and there they were. 2 hands, wrapped around both sides of the door frame, just sitting there. The second the light hit them, they tightened and pulled back out of sight. The scream I'd been holding in for those 3 seconds finally came out. I was screaming, yelling, get out," over and over. By the time I actually got out of bed and looked down the hallway, it was empty. I hit every light in that apartment. Hallway closets, clear. Bathroom, clear. Living room, clear. Kitchen, clear. No one was there. I ran to the front door to lock it. But here's the thing. I never heard it open or close. Not once. I called Sammy. She picked up half asleep. I asked if she'd come back. She said she'd left a while ago because she couldn't sleep. I just said, "My bad," thought I heard something, and hung up. Then I called my best friend, kept calling until he picked up. He heard me out and said I was still drunk, sleep deprived, and probably had a mid-wake hallucination. And look, that actually made sense. I never heard the door, so I let myself believe it. Went back to bed, locked the bedroom door, eventually fell asleep. The next morning, I did a full sweep of the apartment in the morning. Nothing out of place, nobody there. I went about my day, but at some point, I kept coming back to those hands I thought I'd imagined. So I walked to my bedroom door and looked at the frame. Clear fingerprints, in exactly the positions the hands had been. Both sides of the frame, unmistakable. My heart just stopped, because that meant it wasn't a hallucination. Someone had been standing in my doorway, in the dark, watching me sleep. I took a photo. I still have it in my iCloud. I've never deleted it. My dad's take. I called my dad. He basically called me an idiot for not locking the front door and told me that as long as nothing was stolen and the person was gone, take it as a lesson. And look, he wasn't wrong. That's the frustrating part. He wasn't wrong about a single thing. I finished out my year lease, and the day it was up, I was gone. I still don't know who was in my apartment that night. I don't know how they got in, how they got out without me hearing the door, or why, out of everything they could have done, they chose to just stand in my doorway with their hands on the frame. And that's the part I keep coming back to. If they wanted to steal something, they would have stolen something. If they wanted to hurt me, they could have. But instead, they just stood there, in the dark, watching. The scariest part isn't that someone was in my apartment. It's that I'll never know why. So if you're moving into your first place, lock your door every single time, even when you think you don't need to, especially then. And if you ever wake up in the middle of the night and think you see something in the doorway, don't blame the alcohol. Pause, let it land, slight smile, then cut. Drop your own creepy story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're new here, subscribe. I've got more of these, a lot more. I'll see you in the next one.